Well, thank you everyone who has gone before me, setting the stage for what has been a very insightful and inspirational day. I am Devin. I am a multidisciplinary artist. I'm from Buffalo, New York, currently based in Atlanta, Georgia. I like to refer to myself as a creative connoisseur. I sing, I rap, I'm an entrepreneur, in that I curate events, I do creative consulting, I design my own merchandise, I even host my own podcast, even though I keep it on the low. And I just find that being creative is how I stay sane. It's not just my way of expressing myself, it's really how I am able to survive. And so, one thing that's notable about me is duality. And in creating this critique, this presentation, I've had to really ask myself, what is it that I guess is my muse? And so my artist statement that I put together is duality has become my muse, exploring and learning to appreciate the balance created by the duality in nature, society, and life as a whole experience has helped me to appreciate and understand the duality within myself. There is a masculine and feminine energy that is within my personality that's also expressed in my work. I'm a tomboy, but I'm also very ladylike. You know, the picture that's here is one side of me, but there's also, if you were to scroll through my Instagram and you'll see the other picture, just like on the previous slide, I have a very alternate way of presenting myself as well. And that same thing exists in my music. I'm thought-provoking hip hop, but I'm also sensual R&B. I'm a chill artist. I like to smoke weed and zone out sometimes, but I'm also a very fierce businesswoman at the same time. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm definitely keep it real. I'm an artist to the core. And so that duality within me has definitely been somewhat of my driving force recently. And just going back to my upbringing. So because of the fact that I've always been a tomboy, but I've always been able to kind of play both sides, growing up, I remember being about 10 years old, going to the corner store to get some penny candy. I've always had long hair, but I tend to dress like a tomboy. And I remember specifically one time in particular that I'll never forget, standing in line, thinking I was fly, putting my little outfit together. And a grown woman asked me, "Are you a boy or a girl?" And, you know, countless times after that being asked, "Are you gay?" as a child. And when my identity that young was called into question, before I even really knew who I was or what I was trying to be or trying to express, it definitely planted a lot of seeds of self-doubt, insecurity, self-hate. And I didn't realize back then how deeply rooted those seeds have become. And so for many years, I've loved music. I've always wanted to be a recording artist. My focus as an artist is primarily music and live performance. And so I have always wanted to be an artist, but as a child, I was really into R&B. I started rapping actually pretty recently. I was into Whitney Houston. I was into Destiny's Child. I was into the only artist that ever made me feel like I could see myself in them was TLC. But the vast majority of the other artists that I saw were very feminine. It was like, in order to be a female artist, you got to be sexy, have your toes out, have a gown on, and have your body out. And I just always felt like, oh, it's a wrap for me. Like, there's no way that I could ever be an artist because that's just not how I am. So I've always written music. I've always recorded music, but I always kept it to myself because of that self-doubt, because of that insecurity. So it wasn't until 2013 that I call it my coming of age season, where I really had to realize that it's time to embrace myself. What happened was basically everything in my life fell apart. My family life was tumultuous. My parents got divorced, very, very nasty. My relationship, I was actually in a relationship for 8 years with a young man, and it was very volatile. It was the source of a lot of bullying that I had never experienced throughout high school, which was very difficult to deal with. And it also was a time where I'm trying to graduate. And so I almost didn't graduate because of all these distractions. But the turning point was my father was there. He was really my rock. And we used to talk almost daily just to help me get through this depressive state. And he used to always say, in the 11th hour, whatever's meant to be will be. In the 11th hour, the 11th hour. And also at that same time, I kept seeing 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. So it prompted me to do some research and figure out, like, what does the number 11 represent? There's a lot of different interpretations, but the one that resonated the most with me is here on the screen. And the number 11 symbolizes the potential to push the limitations of the human experience into the stratosphere of the highest spiritual perception, the link between mortal and the immortal, between man and spirit, between darkness and light, ignorance and enlightenment. This is the ultimate symbolic power of the 11. And so at that time, I felt like I had nothing to lose because I had already lost everything. So I started writing music. And of course, I named that first project The 11th Hour. This project was not just a project. It wasn't just a mixtape. It wasn't just an EP. It was the story of my life. And the first track is more so a poem. And it goes like this. It actually details more so the relationship and the heartbreak, but it says, embedded in my mind like a memory, loving you was killing me, so free is what I choose to be, living fast and smoking weed, trying hard to try to be everything you wanted, even though that's what I'll never be, killing me, seeing you without the slightest care about it all. That's why every time I fall, I hesitate to stay involved. I be slipping, hoping for the best, but no, I'm tripping, wishing I could do it all again, but time is now, and that was then. I hope you feel me. But maybe that's the reason why I'm gone, because every time I call your phone, you're too busy and I'm too small to say the big things with meaning. I'm hoping that won't change things, but even if it do, I'll still be chasing after you. What am I really to do? Lay down and stand strong. They both lead me to a throne that I can't share because you was wrong. Never write for me, never fight for me, only there to watch me suffer. Promising the comfort, whole time causing me the most hurt. Light work, when you find time, I'll be out of my mind, searching for the answers to the tests you give without a warning sign, but hold up, maybe there's a purpose for my pain, a precious victory to gain every time I say your name, but I'm just hoping that if my love for you was a mistake, I'm strong enough to know that what I gave you can't break me. And so these songs are not just songs. This is the story of my life. And so the 11th hour and me incorporating that 11 into my name is to remind me that, you know, you have to strive to reach your fullest potential. It's so important to always stay true to yourself. So when I released that project, the world opened up to me. So many people were supporting me. So many people provided opportunities for me to perform. I started making money as an artist. And that's when my journey really began. I followed it up the next year with a project called One. And all of these projects are out and available on my website, which I'll share at the very end. And of this project, it was still the same story of my life, but it went more in depth into my view of society and my understanding that I don't think I'm the only one that be struggling this much. One of my favorite songs on this project is Broken Princess. And it's available on YouTube, a full performance, but I'll share a little snippet just so that, you know, you can hear the duality between the hip hop and the R&B. And it goes, living this life I live every day. They don't know the price I pay. Sometimes I wanna be alone. Don't nobody call my phone. I just wanna float away. That's why I get so high every day. Don't mistake the words I say for being down. I just wanna be out. I roll it tight for all the ones who never seen it like me. I roll it tight for all the ones who never seen it like me. I roll it tight for all the ones who never seen it like me. I roll it tight for all the ones who never seen it like me. And so moving on. After that, after I dropped that project, I realized again that it's very important for me to use my voice, this voice that I've kept inside of me and acted like I couldn't use for all these years. So I immediately started to curate shows. My show is called Queen City Live, and it's a live art exhibition featuring a lineup of all women that don't fit into typical boxes, because I myself never felt like I fit into a box. My sexuality is not defined by a title. I consider myself to be very fluid. And so I created this platform for women who don't feel like they fit in anywhere else to not only come and showcase their work, but to really be seen at the level that they want to be seen. Like, for example, you know, Beyonce, when she does a show, it's a whole stage presentation, like fire, this and a band. Why is an independent artist limited? Why can't they have smoke? Why can't they have lights? Why can't they have? And so with Queen City Live, one of the main things that I wanted to make sure of was that, number one, any tickets that are sold, a portion of those tickets, we have a 60-40 split. So for any ticket that's sold, 40% is going to go to that artist that sold it. And then also, in order to be in this show, you're required to sell your own merchandise because you deserve to make money, period. And so we incorporate all types of art, visual, performance, and film. That was so massively successful that I established an LLC, Musically Divine Entertainment, where I offer creative consulting to emerging artists who maybe just need help getting their merchandise, maybe just need help starting their own LLC, maybe just need somebody to talk to get their juices flowing. I also host workshops such as creative writing workshops, master the stage, to help you to learn how to perform and not cup the mic, and how to engage with your crowd, and other workshops just to help you to understand how to define success within the music business. And so my mission has always been to create a space for women that feel like I feel. Because when I was going through those times as a kid and as a teenager and as a young woman, and I felt like there was nobody that looked like me, that acted like me, that thought like me, and I just wished there was a platform or a show that actually created space for somebody like me. My mission is just to use my gifts and my ability and my access to create that. And being a part of the Fearless Artists, I joined because I was having a hard time finding that community. You know, especially given that when I was bullied by the very women that I'm trying to reach out to. And there's still a lot of that within me, that guardedness, that I don't fuck with you if you don't fuck with me, but I'm trying to work through that. And you need to have community to work through that. So being a part of the Fearless Artists program, the Young Curators program, has really helped me to establish a sense of community and to be reminded that I'm not the only one struggling. I'm not the only one that's facing fears. I'm not the only one being challenged to strive to reach their fullest potential. And so I'm just so grateful, like I said at the beginning, to even be a part of these meetings on a bi-weekly basis, because it really fills my spirit and fuels me to keep going, even though I'm still dealing with the residual effect of what that woman said to me at the corner store. I'm still dealing with the residual effect of bullying. I still get triggered, even though I'm a light and I'm powerful and I've embraced that. It's hard, and it's gonna probably always be hard. But a part of being the fearless artist is facing those fears. And so ultimately, what I understand is, going back to duality, you kind of have to understand that there's no life without death, and there's no labor without pain. And when you're trying to birth yourself, there's going to be labor pains. But imagine if your mom stopped pushing because it hurt, you wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So if you stop pushing because it hurts, that life that you need to bring forth, not only because it's beautiful, because you didn't give it to you. You didn't give you your gifts. So it's not up to you to hold it back and decide it ain't worth it. Once life is within you, go ahead and push it out if you feel compelled to. And so ultimately, that's all I'm trying to do. That's my mission. And continuing to strive to find that community and create that community is ultimately my goal. And If you'd like to connect with me, again, my website is dev11n, my Instagram _dev11n. And if you're interested in creative consulting, if you're interested in being a part of an exhibition, if you're interested in collaborating, my email for my business, musicallydivineentertainment@gmail.com. And I would love to connect with anyone that wants to connect with me. And I just appreciate your time, and I look forward to your feedback. Now, how do I get out of this? I don't know how to not share my screen. Okay, stop sharing. That's how you do it.
I would love to hear from you guys, the cohort. I'd love to hear from you all about what you just experienced.
Can I go first? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Melissa.
I want to make sure. Okay. Oh my God, Devin, that was incredible. I always love listening to you. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like whenever I listen to you, you just exude this natural confidence in yourself and your capabilities. And it makes me feel like, yeah, like I want to be that way too. Like I want to say these things with confidence too. And I think the way you embrace your light and your brilliance is just really inspiring. And yeah, like you make me feel so good. Like I feel so good right now. So thank you.
Can I just say, Melissa, you in particular, I've really, really grown from watching your Instagram and watching the way that you articulate every aspect of your journey, from moving, the way you interact, just in terms of reflecting on your own growth. So I appreciate that, because you're someone that I'm learning from as far as how to put myself out there more on social media. I'm all this, but I'm still very to myself. So hearing that from you is I really appreciate that.
And I'm crying. Okay. We have to talk, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Can I go next?
Yes, go.
Oh, I think it's similar to what Melissa said. Like, you have such, I don't know if you call it stage presence because we're on Zoom, but I guess you still can. You have such strong stage presence. The way you talk, the way you articulate, wow, I can't even say the word, articulate, even when you pause, is powerful. Like, I resonated with every single thing you said. Like, you had me on the edge of my chair and I'm not even sitting on a chair. Like, yeah, everything was just amazing. But like I said in the chat, like the thing I resonated most with was your duality and like the way that people like assumed or your sexuality. Like oh my, like you are me, I am you, we are we. Like everything was just, it was. I can't even verbalize what I want to say, but I hope that you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
No, I feel you 100%. I feel you. Thank you.
More.
I'll say something. Devin's presentation just reminds me just to keep pushing forward. Like, how she said she's working with herself to be more of herself. And I feel like that's the same thing I'm going through. And someone just recently told me like we have to put our talents and skills out there because, that's what helps the next person, And so when someone said that to me, it kind of, it connected the dots for me like instantly. I'm like, this is not just for me, this is for everyone else around me to keep society and humanity going. We have to put our what's true to ourselves out there because that's what bring light to people. That's what, and so I see that through you, Devin, every time you speak, because you're always so passionate about, your story and your life and your music. And I'm just so grateful to be here to witness that and to see you grow through this program. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But I enjoyed your presentation. And yeah, I can't wait to we're all at the end and just celebrating. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sarah, and Vincent.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I always love listening to your presentations. They always make me feel better about myself as well. You just have this awesome way of exuding just happiness and making everybody else feel good about themselves as well. I did have a question for you. I wanted to ask, where do you see yourself going, or like, what do you see yourself doing to kind of continue to push past those little struggles that I know I go through every single day, no matter how much I tell myself I'm working on it? So what do you do on a daily basis to work through it?
Well, I'm glad you asked this question because I think it was probably one of our, well, thank you, first of all, thank you. But it was like probably one of our first sessions. You had really spoke openly about your mental health journey. And I've really had to be honest with myself this year that I would like to seek some type of counseling to really unpack the effects of that bullying. You know, I was in that relationship for 8 years and I was only 15 when I got into the relationship. And all of high school, all of college, it was like nonstop. Now I was dating the star basketball player. So it was like an episode of Basketball Wives every day. So for me, it's really important to really prioritize mental health because you can look and you can sound, but you can be cussing yourself out on the inside. And a lot of times, what holds me back from sharing on social media as openly as I share with you all is because there's that voice within me that really sounds like those bullies. That's like, you ain't really, who you think on is it? And any type of rejection that I feel is a trigger. Like, I'm very friendly, I'm very loving, I'm very lighthearted, but I'm also wounded. And when I feel any slight bit of disrespect or resistance or rejection, it it does something to me. And I don't necessarily like how quickly I'm triggered because I recognize it's from things I went through in the past. So I think in order for me to keep moving forward, I need to always be mindful of my mental state because you can only be as helpful to others as you're helpful to yourself, and you can only be as healthy of an influence to other as you're healthy in how you communicate with yourself. So I mean, my goal, like I said, is to be an example, especially the little girls who are tomboys and who are not necessarily lesbians, you know, but just don't carry themselves in a traditional feminine, you know, way. And so it really starts with me. It starts with me doing my work, as the Jan Van Zant would say, do your work. And sometimes you got to go to therapy. And that's something that this year, you know, my finances have been tight. And that's the only reason why I haven't gone to therapy. But I know that that's something that will definitely make a difference for me.
Breaking through stereotypes of femininity, I will be dying on that hill with you.
I think you were next, Vincent.
Yeah, I was gonna just say that I really appreciate like how raw you were in your presentation. Um and just like that's what like I really felt like all your emotion and like just all your story like through your speech and just everything was really like it like seeing you now like hearing that like it really everything makes sense like how like your music, like everything you put out and share with the group. So like I really do appreciate like and you even being bold and brave enough to like, you know, open up to us like that. Like we appreciate that too. So kudos to you and yeah, really happy and excited to see like where you go and like obviously like over the course of this year, like where you're gonna be at the end. I know you're gonna pop. So yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I think that you just have such a magnificent ability to connect with people through the things that you say and your actions and the way that you show up. And as you were singing, like I was just like, oh my goodness, I so much, right? Like the way that it not only speaks to the human experience that as you put so beautifully, is not always easy. Sometimes it's really painful. And as we move through this life, I think, especially in the social media age, we have this expectation that everything is beautiful. And for you not only to acknowledge that, but share that with us, and to create so many things that are so beautiful, whether it is your presentation or your singing or your art or all your creative expression, I think is just awesome and overwhelming and so beautiful. So thank you for sharing, and just being so authentically you in this space that I think we're all growing and learning in every single time that we show up together.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna let Karen make a comment, and then we're going to move to Phil.
I'm not even gonna say well done. It was inspiring. Let me say that, because I see you and myself, that same path of what people would be, a tomboy and questioning what was your sexuality, coming up and growing up, because I made the choice of certain clothes that I wanted to wear, or that my hair was shaved all the way low like a boy. It was just expression, for me, as I was exploring who I was and growing into being a woman, in that way. And then the entertainment industry, being in that industry, and when you describe the boxes that women were put in, was very true. Of, you know, you look this way if you were going to be a female artist, versus you couldn't look that way. Very few people were in that space, and then they were completely categorized if they were put in that space in that way. Your presentation just exudes leadership in your work, and that, every journey that you have taken, Devin, you have embraced it, whether the good, the bad, and the ugly, and used it in your art in that particular way. So I say to you, don't in any way allow money to be the reason that you take care of here. There are many services out there that will accommodate your pocket. So don't allow any what you think it may cost to hinder you in any way. Because I'll say this, I mean, I have done counseling many times. I'm doing it now just from doing work of our ancestors who was enslaved, and the trauma that they suffered that comes on me by trying to discover their stories. So that in itself, and it brings up personal stuff for me because of trying to do research that I know I'm going to be in for a very long time. So that community that you have formed here, that you feel safe in, verbalizing where you are, is a beautiful thing. And then you extend that out to wherever you need to be, and you tell them, I got $2, but y'all need to help me what I need. Give me what I need for the $2 that I have. Do you see what I'm saying? And if they can't, you call me and I'll find you somebody for $2 so that you can get what you need, at the end of the day, because that is what's important for us to be talking about you in the greatest of what you're able to offer in that particular way. Okay. So you just reach out if you think that that's a stumbling block for you. We won't make that so we're gonna move that obstacle or challenge out of the way. That's off the table, you know. So the other thing I suggest is a book called Show Your Work, and it takes an artist through that journey when you kind of have that hesitation and that not sure about it. It is a wonderful book to really sit down with and it has exercises in it as well. And I give it to everybody. I'm particularly saying it to you because you are in a place of leadership, and it'll keep you on your journey, whenever things come up for you as well. And I said this before everybody got on, when Kiki and Deja and Maggie, I was on. I did a 10-day meditation about change. And one thing that the meditation said is that every time something comes up for you, where your mind is racy, you think about whether it's the past or the future. And when you figure out which one it is, you then let it go and put yourself in the present. Okay. So if it's something that comes up from that relationship that's past, then say that's past. Put yourself in the present. Okay. When you're thinking too far ahead, say that's future. Put myself back in the present. And it'll make sure that you stay in those moments very temporary and not very long. All right. And that helps you as you move through your healing. Okay. But well done. I look forward to seeing you in lights.